follow the precious Dhamma teaching. First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dukden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of Homa today, Maha Mayuri Buddha. Maha Mayuri Sutra. Maha Mayuri Assembly. Homage to Vairocana Buddha. Homage to the fundamental teacher Sakyamuni Buddha. Homage to Amitabha Buddha of the Western Paradise. Danzen Katsu. Tudan City. All Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples. Good afternoon. How do you do? Good afternoon. How do you do? Aisteru. Sarangi.
Hola amigo.
Hola amigo. Te quiero mucho.
Sugoi.
Sugoi.
Ichiban.
Ichiban.
Kimochi.
Kimochi.
Jumi.
Jumi.
Yapi.
Yapi.
Konnichiwa. 大家午安。
Konnichiwa. Good afternoon. How do you do? Today,
看那个云端很热看到很遥远的地方。
as I was looking at the clouds,
那么出现在云端上面。
I saw very far away, and there were disciple on the clouds, a disciple from Anhui, China, and also from all over the world, from Indonesia, many, and also from Malaysia, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, many countries, from Europe, many disciples, Singapore, they all appeared on the clouds. I was very happy seeing that.
跟大家祝福大家身体健康。
So I wish all of you a good health and everything is auspicious and strong spiritual commitment and diligence in your practice so that every one of you can have attainments in the future.
首先呢，先通知
First,
大家，
I would like to announce
下个礼拜天
for next
6
Sunday,
月21日
June 21st,
next week June 21 afternoon 3 o'clock p.m. 是救瘟疫度母
at 3 p.m. there would be the Homa fire of the ceremony of Tara, who dispels epidemics.
我们知道这一次的这个
We all know that the
到
pandemic
目
this
前为
time,
止，
up
有些
until
国家是
now,
比较缓和的，
there are some countries who have contained it,
方兴未艾，
but there are
还是
some countries that have their cases continually
真的是
increasing.
很难把这一次的瘟疫
It's very
跟
difficult
冠状病毒完全
to
驱除
completely
清净。
eradicate the pandemic and
所以我们下个
coronavirus
礼
this
拜还是
time.
要做
So
救
next
瘟
week
疫
we
度
will
母复活
perform
会。
the Homa of Tara, who dispels
我也
epidemics
曾经讲
again.
过，
I once
像昨
said,
天晚上我讲，
like last night,
第一个我们希望
first, I hope
冠状病毒
that the
赶快
coronavirus
消失跟过去。
can disappear quickly.
世界
And
各
second,
国的经济贸易
that the global economy and
能
trade
够互相的
of all countries
这个货畅其流，货畅其流就是每个国家的
can
贸易能
recover
够重新再起，
so that the
就是经济能够好。
trade and production can restore and recover so that the
在
economy
美
can
国
be
地
better.
区的
And third,
种族
in America,
能够平和，
I hope that
和平
the
平和
different racial ethnicities
就
can
是
live in harmony and
师尊本身呢
at peace with each
的
other.
祈求，让
That's
冠状病毒
Grandmaster's
能
own
够消
prayers
失掉，
so that coronavirus can
让经
disappear
济
soon,
能够
so
起
that
飞，
economy can take off again,
让美国的种族
so that
能
the
够和平
racism in America
平等，
can be, so that all different races in America can live in
那么
harmony
下个礼拜
with
是
equality,
救
justice,
瘟疫度母的附魔法会，这个
and liberty. So next
上保
Sunday,
佑啊，
we will perform the Homa of Tara, who dispels
希望能够
epidemics, to request for her
显
protection.
法力，
We hope that Tara, who dispels epidemics, will
所有的
manifest her majestic power to eradicate the pandemic and the coronavirus from all the countries.
.这开始以前呢、师尊先讲一个
Before
笑
the
话。
Dharma teaching, let Grandmaster share
老
a
师
joke.
问小明：
The teacher asked Xiaoming,
人类和什么动物最相似？
what kind of
人类跟什
animals
么动物最相
is
似？
closest to human beings?
这个小明回答：
And
青蛙。
Xiaoming replied, frogs.
啊，你们想一想，人类跟青蛙有什么相似之点？小明居然回答青蛙。那老师
So
都
what's
愣
the
住
similarity
为
between
什么讲青蛙？
frogs and
老
human
师就
beings?
问小明：为什么呢？
So the teacher asked
小明回
Xiaoming,
答：
how come?
因为都是蝌蚪
And
里面
Xiaoming replied, because they were all transformed from the tadpoles.
小明很聪明哦。
Xiangming is very smart.
人类跟青蛙有什么关系？
What is the relationship between human beings
因
and
为人类跟
frogs?
青蛙都是蝌蚪变，
Because human beings and frogs come
这个
from
也
the
是阴明
tadpoles.
性。阴明性，我讲过，
So
青蛙
this is also
蝌
the
蚪长大
science
以后，它就变成青蛙。
of logic.
人类
Because when
也是一个
tadpole grows up,
蝌
it
蚪这
becomes
样子的
frog.
虫，
And
游得很快，
human beings also came from
结
the
合起来就变成人类。
from this
所以这个
semen,
算是
like
在
also a
西藏
kind
古
of
灵之学
worm
当中
that
也算是阴明
ran
性
the fastest that became a
一个
human
逻
being.
辑哈。
So this is considered a
现在
science
我
of
们进
logic.
行你问我答。你
Now
问
we
我
will do the question and answer.
师尊你好，请
Grandmaster,
问
how are
师
you?
尊，莲花童子相应法后面
At
回
the
向
end of the Padmakumara deity yoga,
咒
during its
寄
merit
生
dedication,
双
there is a
莲池
phrase.
是不
A
是有什么
mantra
特
is a
别的含
rebirth
义
in the
呢？
Mahatwin Lotus Ponds.
请师
Is
尊
there
慈
special
悲指
meaning
点，
to it?
谢谢。
Please be compassionate and teach us.
我告诉大家，
Let me tell you.
这个莲花童子咒
The Padmakumara mantra,
，Om Guru 莲生悉地 Hum，
Om Guru
它
Lien
本
Sung
身有
Siddhi
很大
Hum,
的含义。
has a very broad meaning
宇宙之间，宇宙之间
of the universe.
伟大的上根本上师，
The great lineage root guru
莲花化身，
emanated from the lotus
马哈双莲池，
of,
成就
and with the attainment to the Mahatwin Lotus
莲
Ponds.
生悉地 Hum， 莲花化
Guru
身
Lien Sung
在
Siddhi Hum.
马哈双莲池。
Emanation from the lotus at
你
the
如果
Mahatwin
能
Lotus
够持
Ponds.
上师心咒
If you are able to chant the
800
root guru mantra 8 million
还继
times
续持念不停，
and still continue to
你这样
chant,
子的成就叫做持名成就。
then your attainment will be
什么叫
called
持
the
名成
attainment
就？
by upholding
就
the
是光明。
clear light
你持着这个光明的心咒，
lucidity. So you're
不停，永
upholding
远不停的
the clear light radiance of the mantra
莲花
continually.
童子根本上师，
Padmakumara
临终的时
lineage
候
root
现
guru
在你的面前，
will appear in front of
接
you
引
at
你
your
到
moment
马哈
of
双莲
death
池。
and to guide you to the Mahatwin Lotus Ponds.
这个就是一咒寄生双莲
That's
池
the meaning
这样
of
一
this
咒
phrase. A
一个咒
mantra is a rebirth in the Mahatwin
我
Lotus
们同
Ponds.
门当中啊，
With just one
持莲花
mantra
心咒的，就
of
嗡
our
莲
disciples,
生悉地吽，
those who chant
莲生悉地吽，
Padmakumara
那是
mantra,
所有
which is
莲
Om
花童
Guru
子的
Lien
心
Sung
咒。
Siddhi Hum. That's the mantra for all Padmakumaras.
单单持这个咒，
Just by chanting
你
this
持到
mantra,
产生光明，
if you chant it until you emit clear light radiance,
到了马哈
and
双莲池，
Padmakumara appears to guide you to
这
the
个就是
Mahatwin
一
Lotus
咒
Ponds.
寄生双莲池。
So that's the
有没有
meaning
人
of
这样？
a mantra
有。
is the rebirth in Mahatwin Lotus Ponds.
我们的这个传
Is
雷
there someone like that?
韩尼瓦
Yes.
师姐，
Our translator,
他的
Dharma
父
sister
亲母亲
Hanifa's
都是
father
持
and
莲花
mother
童子心咒，
chanted the
持
Padmakumara
高王
mantra.
经，持莲
And
花童子心
hiking
咒，
our Lokitisvara Sutra
以
and
高
the
王经的
Padmakumara
力量
mantra.
跟莲花童子的心
By the
咒，
power of the hiking Kuan Yin
他
Sutra
们往
and
生以
Padma Kumara mantra, after they pass away, they had a huge, very big sariras, as big as the fingertips. So this proved that they have gone to the Mahatwin lotus ponds. So that's the meaning of a mantra, is a rebirth in Mahatwin lotus ponds. They just chanted the Root Guru mantra and the hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra. So it has a very special meaning. A mantra is a rebirth in the Mahatwin lotus ponds. There are many Padma Kumaras. The great Guru Padmasambhava, the founder, the patriarch of Tantric Buddhism, was also a Padma Kumara. He was born out of a lotus in the lotus pond. And the White Lotus King, the second king of Shambhala, the kingdom of the Buddha land, the White Lotus King was also a Padma Kumara. And Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva is also a Padma Kumara. And many more Padma Kumaras, innumerable, countless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are Padma Kumaras. Therefore, this phrase, a mantra, is a rebirth in Mahatwin lotus ponds. It's extremely nice, very perfect, very powerful, to let you experience the amazing. The next question. Grandmaster, peace with you. Your disciple is grateful for your guidance in my dream, directing me to take refuge in the true Buddha. I do practice Tantric Dharma. How can I ensure that in all my lifetimes, my future lifetimes, I will never forget my affinity with Grandmaster, to always rely upon you. I also ask for your forgiveness and repentance. So how can you ensure that in your future lives you never forget Padma Kumara? First, you can do it as soon as you gain spiritual union with Padma Kumara. You frequently visualize Grandmaster sitting on top of your head. You frequently chant Padma Kumara mantra. You frequently visualize Padma Kumara entering into your heart chakra, seated on top of the lotus of your heart chakra. And you are in union with Padma Kumara, and you gain spiritual union with Padma Kumara. That in all of your lifetimes you would have affinity with Padma Kumara. In your future lifetimes you would have affinity with Padma Kumara. So you will never forget your affinity with Grandmaster, to always rely upon you. That would be the best method. The next question. Grandmaster, peace with you. On January 19th, 2015, during your interview in Taiwan with the Apple Daily newspaper and Next magazine, you showed us a special mudra to avert evils. Palms together, the ring fingers bound outward, and the four fingers hooking on the ring fingers. Could you please expound on it more? The details, its origin, when to use it, whether it should be accompanied by a mantra and visualization, etc. Thank you, Grandmaster. Both palms joined together. All of a sudden, someone asked about the mudra on January 19, 2015. During your interview in Taiwan with Apple Daily newspaper and Next magazine, you showed us a special mudra to avert evils. Palms together, the ring fingers bound outward, and the four fingers hooking on the ring fingers. It should be like this. So the two index fingers are hooking on the ring fingers, this mudra. The mudra that I formed 5 years ago, someone remembered. That's incredible.
使用时机以及要配塔咒，这个手印的来源，这个手印比较少人用啊。
Very few people use this mudra.
这个其实只要向前，
If you point it forward,
这样子发出力量
the power it generates would emit light and has power. And all the evil gods and malicious ghosts will disperse, and not only disperse, they almost game over or dead. That's Japanese game over.
它的根源呢
Its origin is from the Three Mountain Nine Master. Long ago, when I was 26 years old, the mudra that they taught long ago, that's the origin that was taught to me. That time, Three Mountain Nun Marcus Master, spiritual master of Grandmaster. And the mantra, Hom, Hom, Pe.
Hom, 这所有金刚神的咒日。
So Hom is the mantra syllable of all the Vajra protectors of Vajra gods. Hom. And Pe is to subjugate, to eradicate, to disperse, to become nothing. Hom, Pe. That's the mantra you should chant. And then you form this mudra, which is the mudra to avert evils.
好的，这个问题就是这样子啊。
That's the question.
你2015年问的问题，现在是2025
Question
年
about 2015.
手印。
The mudra from 5 years ago.
世尊还可以这样子一下子就讲出来。
And Grandmaster could still remember and explain it right away. Not bad. I still have very good memory.
再来一个问题。
The next question, Grandmaster, in your book number 272, Touch of the Pristine Light, on the chapter, A Slim Elderly Man, you wrote about Maudgalana in this lifetime was a farmer steadily deteriorating. His inner light radiance and transcendent power were abolished by his own karma. ... My question is a Maudgalana a Maha-Arhat? Arhatship is part of the 4 Sichli realms, which is a non-returning realm. What caused him his downfall? Please enlighten us. Many people ask this question. I have mentioned it in my book, Touch of the Pristine Light. Why was the great Arhat could be reborn in the human world and became an old elderly man? Of the Buddha Sakyamuni's 10 great disciples, Maudgalyayana had the first and foremost transcendent power. Sariputra was first and foremost in wisdom, and Maudgalyayana had the most and foremost transcendent power. However, the insight here is that transcendent power does not allow you to transcend life and death. It is just a side effect of your spiritual cultivation. It doesn't mean that you can attain Buddhahood by having transcendent power. A Buddha definitely would have transcendent power when you attain Buddhahood. However, transcendent power does not necessarily mean Buddhahood. Does not necessarily allow Buddhahood either. There are many levels. Maudgalyayana died a horrible death. Although he had transcendent power, but he also had grave karma. Because in his past lives, he killed many people. So, of the Buddha's 10 great disciples, or the 500 arhats, Maudgalyayana died a horrible death. He was killed by tons of rocks and thrown down from the mountains, and his whole body was totally crushed with lots of blood, and because of his karma. So he wanted to escape with running under the earth or with fleet-footedness to escape that calamity, but he could not. he was being crushed by the rock because when the karma appeared, he could not escape from it. When he wanted to run under the ground became extremely hard, and he wanted to fly, he could not. So finally he died under the crushing of the rocks. That's how he died. So that showed he had karma. His karma was still there. He had to experience many lifetimes before he could have attainments. He had to eradicate his karma first, even though he was a great arhat. He was a great arhat during the time of Sakyamuni Buddha. The Buddha did not ask him to save the Sakya clan, but he used his own transcendent power. He took his own initiative and used his transcendent power to use his alms bowl and to collect all of the Sakya clan and save it inside his bowl. Because at that time the Sakya kingdom was being attacked by Liu Liwang, by another king, and was almost eradicated. And Maudyagalana took all the Sakya clan, the kings and the ministers, and about 500, which means many of the clan members, and brought them back to Sakyamuni Buddha. Sakyamuni Buddha did not ask him to do it, but he did it on his own. And Maudyagalana told Sakyamuni Buddha, I have brought your clan main members here and saved them. And the Buddha asked, oh, where are they now? You saved them. Where is it? It's inside my alms bowl. It's inside this bowl. And then the Buddha said, so pour them out so that I can see. And when he did that, it was just blood water, so he could not save them. The Buddha did not ask him to save the Sakya clan. Why did you go and use your transcendent power to go to above Sakya kingdom and save many of the Sakya clan members? And yet you did not save any of them. Was that you that actually killed all of them because they all became blood? What should you do then? Too late. Nothing you could do. You could not have saved them. You did not listen to me. Now you killed them. 500 of them. Sakyamuni Buddha was a Buddha, but he was also born in the animal realm. And he had gone to hell too. The Buddha had gone to hell too. Don't think that Sakyamuni Buddha was always holy. He was once in hell, in the animal realms, as the deer king, as the elephant king, as the peacock king. He was animals. And also, so in the journey of spiritual cultivation, although Maudyagalana was a great arhat, he had killed many people before. And In that lifetime, he was fighting with the deviant groups and killed a lot of people. And he was trying to save the Sakya clan, and the Sakya clan became blood. So he had to repay his karma. Although he was a great arhat, he still have to clear his karma because he had killed many people and now he had become an elderly man. His original soul was a great arhat, but his Nirmanakaya or transformation body is still in the Saha world, repaying his karma. So when I wrote this, it shocked the Buddhist field. How could the Maudya Kalyana, the great arhat, became an elderly man? Because he had grave karma. So he used his transcendent power to kill lots of deviant followers. Therefore, his death was done by the deviant followers with rocks, that he became like mush of bloody flesh. But at that time, because of his karma, he could not use his transcendent power anymore. But one day, once he eradicated his karma, he would return to his state of great arhat, because he was originally great arhat. He was a non-returning, however, his Nirmanakaya is still in samsara, in Saha world, so he had to cultivate spiritually still the best he could. That's my answer. Homage to our lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian Sheng. My question is, I once read in your book, Talking Heart to Heart, Volume 10, on the 13th chapter on Usnisha Vijaya Dharma. If all of a sudden, for no reason at all, you start to sweat profusely and your body emits foul odor, that is a sign of bad luck. For no apparent reason, you feel upset and anguished. A disaster is in the making. A spiritual cultivator should not feel disturbed or agitated. His temperament should be mild and moderate. A true sadhaka is like this. His heart and mind are harmonious and calm. So if you feel disconcerted, that's not good. If you cannot control it and discard your apprehension, you sweat, you feel feverish or cold, weak energy, dark facial aura, these are all signs of catastrophes. You need to practice Usnisha Vijaya Buddha Mata Dharma right away. First, should you chant the long mantra of Usnisha Vijaya Dharani? 2. If during the mantra recitation of the practice, warmth arises naturally and I feel light and at peace, should I still visualize the mantra syllables radiating light or do the breathing practice, etc.? Because sometimes I feel that whenever I do something intentionally, I already exit my samadhi. That's the question. If you feel upset and sweat a lot and foul body odor and dark facial aura, that's signs of calamities. That's right. That's the signs of catastrophes. Sweating, if it's a normal sweating, that's okay. So it doesn't mean anytime you sweat, it's a calamity. Like if the weather is hot, or in Southeast Asia, it's hot. When I visit Southeast Asia, I ask them, how many seasons do you have? And they say two seasons. So, which ones? Hot. And the next one is the extremely hot season. In Indonesia. How many seasons do you have? And they replied, hot and extremely hot. When I visited Malaysia and Singapore, it's the same. Only one season, hot and extremely hot. Then, of course, you would sweat. Or summer in Taiwan is also very hot. As soon as you finish your shower, and then you would sweat again, and then you bathe again, then you would just bathe all day long. As soon as you walk out from the bathroom, you start to sweat. It's still very hot in the summer. So it's okay. That kind of sweating is not considered a calamity. But it is an unusual setting. It's hot and cold and hot and cold. That's sickness. That's calamity. Or you have weak energy or breathing. People who's about to die would breathe like that, would gasp and pant. Then you die. And you pant, but you cannot breathe. Or dark facial aura. It's not always, it's not necessarily tanned face. You don't think that any tan or dark face indicates calamities. You know, all African Americans have dark face. But what I meant was that just the dark aura, the dark facial aura, or in the forehead, for the yellow skin, but not because you're tan, because you're sunning. Oh, that doesn't mean it's calamity. But if you have a dark aura, that means you have a calamity. Then you have to recite Usnisha Vijaya Buddha Dhamma. Not only chanting the long mantra of Usnisha Vijaya Dharani, but you can also perform her Dharma practice. This is considered one of the longevity deities. So if you do the practice of Usnisha Vijaya, then you can extend your lifespan to eradicate your catastrophes. And not only chanting mantra, you also have to visualize, enter samadhi, form her mudra. That's the key point. If during mantra recitation, the warm sensation arises naturally, and I feel light and at peace, should I still visualize the mantra syllables radiating light or do the breathing practice, etc.? If you can feel the warmth and feel light and at peace, that's signs of spiritual responses. So Usnisha Vijaya Dharma is very good. Visualizing the mantra syllables radiating light. or do the breathing practice. Normally, our breathing practice should be finely, slowly, and long. That those are the symbols of longevity. And mantra syllables radiating light is also good. You can do those. So you can extend your meditation. Don't act with diligent care. In meditation, you have to be relaxed. That your heart is totally open and expansive and connected with the consciousness of the universe, then your samadhi will be long. So remember, in your meditation, you have to be relaxed. You have to relax and open and natural. Then nothing on your mind. Of course, if you do something intentionally, like if you have a thought, of course, then you would leave your meditation. But if you have no thoughts whatsoever, that's called relaxed and unperturbed or open, not caring about anything, very relaxed. That's in the meditation. Of course, if you care for something, then of course you would exit from meditation. When thoughts appear in your mind, you would exit from meditation. So you use all kinds of methods. In Lamdre, it was written, you use all kinds of methods to enter samadhi, to enter meditation. And all these methods are called the merit accumulation path of meditation. What we talked about yesterday. What is the merit accumulation path of meditation? Is the all kinds of methods to enter meditation. The non-dwelling. That would be the true meditation. And all the methods used to achieve that are called the merit accumulation path of meditation, which what we talked about yesterday. Therefore, elderly women selling the tea eggs on the same street, and they all have the same place and the same sign. And then the first one said that the 5 fragrance tea egg, $2 each. Nobody was there. And the second one put at the sign, this is a secret formula, $3 each. And there are few people. And the third one has a sign that this is the royal palace secret, $5 each, and it's pretty good. And the fourth one has a sign that the Korean royal palace secret recipe tea egg, $10 each, and yet it has a long line. So what does it show? The egg is not important. But the bullshit is
扯淡。其实你用的不管是什么，但是大家就相信
doesn't matter what
牌
you
子上
use,
写的那几个
but
字。
people just believe what's written on the sign.
所以我们现在啊，一般老人在
So
喝酒，
nowadays, when the elderly people drink
这个补肾补阳药酒，补肾补
tonic
阳药酒，
wine, like a
大
tonic
家都去买，
wine that
大家都
tonify
去买那个补
kidneys
肾补阳的药酒。
and the young energy.
有
Everybody
一
would
种
buy
药
it.
也是很稀奇的，
And
大家
there's
都
a
觉
kind
得
of herb that's
什么药
pretty rare,
现代的
that's
年纪大的
very
人用的伟哥，
bestseller. What's that?
伟
That's
哥
Viagra.
就很多人买，但是它生意
Many
很好，
people
伟哥
buy.
一出来，哇，生意好得很呐、
As soon as it's on the
很多人
market,
买，
it's
那药厂
been
都发
selling
财，
really well.
为什么？
And the pharmaceutical company make
因为
a lot
歌
of
很
money.
伟啊，
Why?
伟很歌啊，
Viagra, play
它
of
就
words
是
of
这个
Viagra.
名字。单单伟歌一出来，哇，
It just sounded very
不得了。
strong.
什么叫伟歌啊？就是扯淡，只要你扯得非常好，
That's
真的有
just
用，
the
那真的就是生意都非常好。
so this the bullshit. So if you, it's not just marketing.
这
So
个
if you can do it
小
well,
民
then
啊
your business is
祈
good.
求上帝满足他一个愿望。
Xiaoming prayed to God to fulfill his wish,
你有什么
and
愿望？
God asked, "What's your
小民
wish?"
就讲：
And Xiaoming said,
给我一份不用操心，而且不用
"Please give me a
不
job
有人自愿
that I
给
don't
我
have
钱
to
的
be
工作。
disturbed or work so
通通
hard,
不要做
but
事情，人家就会钱给
with
我。
lots of money."
天底下哪有这种事？
How
如
could
果
such
有
a
的话，
thing
我也要啊。
exist? If it exists, I want it too.
这个不
I
用
want
受
it from Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I don't
不
have to
用这
give Dharma
个
teaching.
研法，不用做法会，不用
Don't
收
have
回
to
就很多人钱给我。
perform ceremonies, and
可能吗？
many monies would come. Lots
上
of
帝
money
说
would come.
那
Is it
给
possible?
小明，你回去
And
吧，
God said,
包你满意。
"Okay, go home. You'll be satisfied."
上帝把小明变成什么？变
And
成功德箱。
God changed Xiaoming into the
庙
merit
里的功
box.
德箱，真的，他不用工作，摆在那里，
He
就有
doesn't
人
have to
塞钱
work.
进去。
And people would put money
庙里
into
的
it.
功德箱，
You know, the money
所以我
box
们
in
不
the
能
temple.
做这种妄想，那个叫做妄想。
So
我
don't
们修行
daydream
人
like
就不能
that
够妄想。
as the spiritual cultivator.
你看小明被变成功德箱，功德箱真的
So
不用
Xiaoming
做事就摆
was
在那里，
transformed
人
into
家
the
进
money
到庙里
box.
来，
You
就
don't
把
have to do
钱放在
anything.
功德箱。
And people visiting the temples would stick some money into the box.
好，我们今天再讲一点道果哈。
Today, let's continue on Lamdre.
昨天提到，昨天有提到，
Yesterday,
记住三项加持喜等12纪年明非为实。
talk about
告诉大家，
endowed with the 3 visualizations to
什么叫
bless
做
the bliss,
12纪
etc.
年明
of
非？
the 12 consorts endowed with lotus.
我
What
今天
is
就讲出来，
the 12 consorts
Yes,
endowed with lotus?
12纪年就是具备着
So
空行母的象征。女生当中啊，女生的修行人。
consorts,
具备
female
12
practitioners
种的空行
who
母的
are
象征，
endowed with signs of
那
Dakini.
个就是属于空行母明妃。
So they are considered the
为什么是
Dakini
12
consorts.
四手
Why
帮
12?
加
because the 4 guardian mothers plus the 8 the dakinis of the 8 directions, altogether 12. So 12 dakinis. That's what it means. The 12 consorts endowed with lotus. That's what it meant. And to recognize, how do you recognize this 12 kinds of consorts? I cannot tell you. I know, but I cannot say it. Now, I would like to expound on the meritorious fruition. If by relying on this path, one achieves the warmth position of the preliminary path, which is differentiated into 3 kinds of warmths, big, medium, and small. And by this, one enters into the 3 accumulation realms. By the warmth phenomena of the heart of meditation, one arises to the 4 meritorious fruitions. The verse stated, attaining the 4 fruitions of the abandonment of the mundane body, speech, and mind. The 4 fruitions of the abandonment are born from this meaning. It is due to the absorption and assimilation of the unusual maturity of the 3 fruits. In sum, it is divided into 3, the 4 fruits appearing from the 4 positions, the 4 fruits appearing from beginning interests, the 4 fruits appearing from various school interests, and the 4 fruits appearing from the 4 positions. The stable meditation itself establishes a bogus name for the fruition. Primarily, it is to attain the warmth divisions of the 3 accumulation periods of the worldly path. The latter 2 fruition names of the 4 fruits are established based on the benefits of the meditation itself, and they are merely supplementary. In the beginning, the name of the fruit of abandoning ties is established on abandoning the mundane body, speech, and mind, and the fruit of unusual maturity is established on the maturity of the storehouse that is originally existing. The fruit of innate equal flow established based on the enjoyment of the deeds, and the result of one's meticulous diligence to cut off all the breakable diversities, etc., is referred as the functional fruit or the immaculate fruit. The fruit of abandoning ties is by gradually strengthening the warmth sensation, and from it, and by relying on one's and others' bodies, the yidam appears, while the mouth chants mantra, and the mind gives rise to the incessant, indiscriminate meditation. This is the first kind of fruit. Also, by merely attaining the speech of complete understanding of outsiders, and the ability to speak accordingly and give rise to the unobstructed sensation is the second fruit. At this moment, the blissful experience inside the body is ceaseless. Even when the causes and conditions of suffering are forcefully pressing, one can still give rise to bliss. This is the third fruit. When all afflictions subside, the coarse divisions of the 8 Dharma gradually diminish, and all attachments become minuscule. This is the fourth fruit. This is talking about 4 fruits. Meditation is divided into 4 fruits. The first one is the fruit of abandoning ties. And the second one is the fruit of unusual maturity. The third fruit is the fruit of innate equal flow, and the fourth one is the immaculate fruit of fruition. So what is the fruit of abandoning ties? A human being is always held in bondage. Held bondage by what? By your own thoughts, by wealth, sex, names, food, sleep, by your own thoughts. If you can abandon your thoughts, the former thought has passed and the future thought has not come. In between, that's the fruit of abandoning ties. At that moment, you have no thoughts. You will not be held in bondage by thoughts. That's the fruit of abandoning ties. So gradually, you discard your thoughts, and it comes back again, and you discard it again, it comes back again, and you discard it again. And gradually, you become very strong. That's called the fruit of abandoning ties. The fruit of abandoning ties of meditation is a kind of fruition. In Lamdre, what's being talked about is just a temporary name that's given. When the thought comes and goes and comes and goes and comes and goes, and gradually when the thoughts mostly goes, then that's called the fruit of abandoning ties. So it's called the state of no mind. And mundane people are being held in bondage by what? By lots of things. Whatever that you attach to, then you would be held bondage by them. That's the first fruition. That's the kind of signs in meditation that can appear. When you chant mantra, you can continually chant mantra. And the mind gives rise to the incessant, indiscriminate meditation. No, that's if you can continually chant mantra and your mind is on the mantra, that's the second fruit. When your mind, so your thoughts are only chanting mantra, and the mantra is continual, and your mind is on the mantra. So, the ability to speak accordingly and give rise to the unobstructed sensation. So, you are chanting the mantra and your mind is completely on the mantra. That's called the fruit of unusual maturity. It's not completely mature, has not completely entered into meditation, and your mind is on the mantra chanting. It's not completely mature. So the name is the fruit of not yet maturity. And the next one is the fruit of innate equal flow. If you start to feel a kind of bliss in your body, and you can also call it light and easy, that's also a kind of bliss. This kind of sensation of being light and peaceful is the ceaseless, blissful experience inside the body. Even when there are sufferings on your body, but you can still use your bliss to subdue or eradicate the suffering, and you're always amidst the blissfulness. And this is the third fruit and called the fruit of innate equal flow. So the bliss is like the river flow. It's moving inside your body, moving smoothly. The bliss is incessant, continual. And you're abiding in the bliss, just like the water flow. It's called the fruit of innate equal flow, the third kind of phenomena of meditation. And the fourth fruit, because you're very diligent in your meditation practice, all afflictions subside. And the result of your meticulous diligence to cut off all the breakable adversities is called the immaculate fruition. So you cut off all the breakable adversities. So it's like breaking off all your thoughts. No more thoughts exist. Completely relaxed and open. And your mind is non-abiding. So to cut off things that's unbreakable at this time is called the immaculate fruition. The fruition with no contaminations. That's the fourth fruition, the highest. So to cut off all the unbreakable thoughts, and you abide in the relaxation and openness. So the dwelling is the same as non-dwelling. So that's the completely pure, immaculate fruition. That's the explanation of this part. When all afflictions subside, the course divisions of the eight dharma, the eight worldly dharma, gradually diminish, completely stopped, and all attachments become minuscule, or no more attachments, or just very little left. That's the fourth fruit, which is the immaculate fruit. These are the four kinds of fruits of meditation. After dinner, Dad brought Xiaoming to stroll by the riverside. And then look at the other side of the shore and just see completely dark. And they say, oh, and on the other side we saw lots of lights. And then Xiaoming said, let's go to the other side. And Dad replied, why? Because over there you can only see darkness, and we are on this side, we can see lots of lights. So the true immaculate fruit, there is no darkness and there's no light. When you're completely pure, there is no so-called darkness or light. Because if you think of the light, then you're being held in bondage by the light. If your thought is in darkness, then you're held in bondage by the darkness. When you reach the true meditation, there is no darkness and no light. And even when there's light, you're not attached to it. Xiaoming's mom is obstetrician, and his dad is a pediatrician. And the teacher one day asked him, "What do your mom and dad do?" Xiaoming replied, "My mom is delivering kids and my dad is fixing kids." What Xiaoming said is right, because his mom was an obstetrician or gynecologist, and my dad, so that's why she's delivering kids, and his dad was a pediatrician, so that's fixing kids. It's a question. Why a gray hair being pulled out, instead there would be 10 gray hair? Because the black hair or the dark hair around the gray hair saw a family member being pulled out, was shocked to paleness, become gray. Today, truly grateful to those on the clouds and also all viewers on the webcast, online, those online. Thank you very much that we can be together like this. Is also a kind of good fortune. It's a very cherished affinity that answering your questions is something that Grandmaster is very pleased to do. I don't want to just become a money box. I want to spread the Buddha Dharma, to give Dharma teaching, to plant the seeds of Buddhahood inside the hearts of all disciples of Mani Padme Hum.